Hi. Are you tired of having emotions upend your life and cause difficulties for you? Well, keep watching. I'm about to share some ways, some secrets on how to manage your mood. I'm Renee Roberts. I'm a writer, a blogger, and a mom of 7. Today I'm going to share some ways for you to effectively manage your moods and keep them from controlling your life. So, first, I'm going to give you a quick writing update. I just got back an email from Cedar Fort Publishing with the official cover of our book, Forbidden Faith. So I'll be doing a cover reveal in the next few days, so make sure you're watching for that on Facebook. So I'm real happy with what they've done with it, and I hope you'll be excited about it too. So back to dealing with moods. It's ironic. This has been a kind of moody week for me. As you know, I've had that cold that prevented me from being able to talk well enough for 5-10 minutes on Facebook Live. So, and when I get sick, I tend to get moody, and sometimes I get moody other times too. So if once my husband watches this, he'll probably be laughing because it's true. But when I was little, my parents used to quote this poem to me, and I didn't know until recently, but it's kind of a nursery rhyme, but it's based on a poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. So this is how it goes. There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid. So that poem always kind of cracked me up, but it always made me just think, okay, am I being the good little girl or am I being horrid? And, sometimes, we get to be a little bit of each, right? But, the thing is, moods tend to sometimes invade our lives. And while lots of times I just kind of go through life at smooth sailing, I feel cheerful and good. Other times, my moods just, all of a sudden, I'll be hit by some kind of a mood swing and it kind of takes over my life. I try not to let it, but sometimes it does. So, while I'm talking about this, I'm preaching to the choir, being myself, I guess, because this is something that I actually struggle with and have to work on, is managing my mood. So, sometimes for me, it's like will be doing well, but then I'll have all these, negative thoughts, or I kind of, sometimes I'll even, say to myself, oh, look, Psycho Lady's here today, because it's like I'm not myself, and I just want to get back to my normal self and not have to deal with feeling sad or frustrated, not even necessarily over something. It's kind of like when you wake up and you're just, waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Sometimes our moods just appear without, our permission. So I want to talk a little bit about how we can deal with that. The first thing we can do is use our moods. So as crazy as that may sound, we can use our moods to our advantage. So for example, if I am having an angry mood or feel like Psycho Lady has shown up, I can channel that frantic energy into something productive, whether that's cleaning or, writing and putting my emotion into what I'm working on, or music practice. All those kinds of things are ways that we can actually use our mood to be more productive. And that works too, with happiness. We can use that. Obviously, we all love happiness, but we can use that, the different ways that we feel to be productive sometimes. So, and I would say even like if we're feeling, maybe grumpy or self-critical, what we can do is sit down and maybe take a few minutes and write down things that we would like to change in our lives. And, that doesn't mean that we wallow on those things when we're feeling that way, but sometimes I've found that if I can just write down all the things that I'm just like, I want to change this, I want to do that. Sometimes just the act of writing it down can, lift my mood a little bit and just take it off my shoulders. And then I can come back to it later and see, what can be made into a productive goal. So sometimes it really can help shift our moods, or we can, use that part of our mood and it can help us feel great to have a plan instead of just focusing on the negative things that are somehow popping into our brains. So the next step that we can do is to try to change our mood. And that's, sometimes a little bit easier said than done. Sometimes a mood really wants to cling to us. But, there's a few strategies that I find helpful. I keep some word art in my closet that says be happy, just to kind of be a gentle reminder. And I have things like that around the house that are just, hopefully to kind of remind me, that I actually do have control over the way I feel. And, and so those can help. Other things that we can do, praying about it, that can help a lot. Using meditation, and at some point I'll probably share some meditation techniques on here, that I find that very useful. Listening to music can kind of help shift our moods. Serving others, getting outside of ourselves, so that we're not just wallowing. Just putting all of our mind and effort into some kind of work can help shift our mood, and all of a sudden we feel good, and nothing in our lives really changed, but we've been productive, and that can help. A couple other things. It's interesting. There's been research that has shown that when people laugh, it can have a more long-term effect on our moods. And even if it's something as simple as reading comics or watching a funny movie, those types of things, or memes, those types of things can actually have a positive effect on our mood. It's not just that it's funny, it actually can affect us in a positive way. So, and even just something as simple as smiling and just going on with life can help ultimately change our moods. But sometimes moods really are hard to change and don't want to change. So I would say the third thing to do when we're having a struggle like that is to rise above our moods. And, that can take a lot of effort, but there's things that we can do to be able to do that. For example, if we show up where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there, whether that's, taking care of things with our kids, going to their activities, going to work, obviously we want to show up there. All of the different responsibilities that we carry that sometimes feel a little heavy. If we do those responsibilities, even when we just really don't feel like it, that can actually help lift our moods. Another thing that I have noticed, Matt has this little thing of flashcards with scriptures on it, and he's going over them, when he's going places and different things like that. And for me, I think that is a useful way to improve our moods, but also to prevent, having difficulty with moods, because our mind, can be focused on really productive, uplifting things. So, another thing, there's this, this is really ginormous because I just printed it out, but it comes in bookmark form. It's called Just for Today. And I actually got this from a friend of mine who works with Alcoholics Anonymous. And I have the little bookmark, and you can order them online or you can print it off online. And it's got great stuff in it that just helps you get through a tough day whenever those tough days hit. For example, this one, it says, just for today, I will try to live through this day only and not tackle all my problems at once. When we're having a bad mood, lots of times it's because we're just overwhelmed with all the tasks that we are dealing with, or with problems in life. And, we don't have to deal with every single problem all at once. So there's all kinds of things, all kinds of great things on this Just for Today bookmark. And I would encourage you to find one, and I'll put a link to some on my website once I put this post up. But that's really helpful to me. If I'm having a mood, I'll just look at that. So it's interesting because research shows that the average person has kind of a really down mood for about 3 out of every 10 days. So that's pretty normal. We just need to hold steady and work through it and just shake it off. But if that mood is persisting for longer than that and is, you're not able to shake it off, then seek medical help. That's, really important. It's just like with any physical illness. If we're having a mental struggle, we need to seek help. So that's something that's important to remember as we're dealing with our moods. But in summary, how can we change our how can we manage our ever-changing state of mind? First off, I'll say use your moods, change your moods, and rise above them. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Please share this with anyone you think it might help. And in the comments down below, please share what kinds of things work for you when you're trying to shake off a blue mood. And if there's any topics you'd like to hear about, please leave that too. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my newsletter at rhroberts.com, where you'll find tales of courage and life insights. So have a great day. Thanks. Bye.